For some context, I, 25F, have a serious medical condition that requires some pretty heavy medication. It does a lot of things, including destroying my desire to smash and knocking me out for long periods of time. My husband, 28M, and I were married before I was diagnosed, and he supported me through diagnosis and treatment. He's a wonderful man. We used to have a very active bedroom life, and it has been a considerable strain on our marriage that I now never feel in the mood to smash. I feel like a terrible wife in this regard, and I miss being able to do what we both enjoy. To be clear, when I take my medication, I am extremely numb to the world. You could blast a fire alarm next to me, and I wouldn't wake up. You could pick me up and toss me around, and I might not wake up. Lately, I've been feeling worse than normal, really sick, dizzy, uncomfortable, etc. I went to my doctor, scared I might be sick with COVID, and it turns out I'm pregnant, 5 weeks along. But I haven't smashed with my husband in at least 2 months, maybe more. I did not cheat on him, nor was I SA'd by anyone, anywhere, that I know of. This was not immaculate conception. I told my husband, and he was surprised. It's probably 1,000,000 to 1 chance I got pregnant due to the medication I'm on and my condition. He was shocked, then excited, and I was just so relieved he didn't accuse me of cheating that I didn't stop to consider why he didn't. It's been a few days, and I've been thinking about when I first started taking my medication. It was hard for him to adjust to me not wanting to smash, and he used to joke that I could just lay there and watch TV while we do it. Or, and here's what makes me scared, he used to joke that he could just do it with me while I'm sleeping, and that way I wouldn't have to deal with it, and he could be satisfied. He's mentioned this a couple of times, but always lets it drop when I'm not okay with it. I've started thinking about all the times I woke up in the morning and had an uncomfortable pelvic pressure that usually only comes from me after I've done the deed with my husband. That could also explain some bruises that have appeared randomly that I can't explain. I confronted my husband about this, about me being scared he did this to me, and at the least, why he wasn't surprised the dates don't match up. He was angry I would accuse him of something so horrible and insist that I'm just misremembering the last time we smashed. The medication does play with my memory sometimes, but I remember the last time we did it. I remember every time we smash now because I don't enjoy it. I don't want to panic, I don't want to talk myself into being convinced he's been forcibly smashing with me while I'm asleep, and I don't want to talk myself out of this possibility just to protect our marriage, but I'm terrified. This is the only possibility I can come up with, and if it's true, I don't know what to do. I've been heartbroken for a while over the idea that I wouldn't be able to have kids. Now I'm going to have a baby, and I'm so happy, but what if this baby happened because of what my husband did? Edit. I'm really lost, and I don't know what to think or do. I'm going to take some time to think about this, get additional information and resources depending on how this is going to go, and figure it out. Just to be clear, however, because there are too many responses to answer directly, no, I have never given permission for my husband to smash with me while I'm sleeping. Yes, I have asked him if I have ever instigated something while asleep, sleepwalked, sleep spoke, or did anything in my sleep related to smashing, and he answered no. We have never smashed outside of a time when I was fully cognizant and aware of what's happening. And yes, I'm keeping the baby regardless of what happened. Update 1. I wanted to give an update on what's been happening in the past 2 weeks. My first post got a crazy amount of attention, and lots of people were really kind and helpful, and I want them to know I'm okay. To clarify, the medication I'm on for my condition is taken at night because it affects me the way it does, completely knocking me out. To reassure people, I would not be taking this medication if I had a baby to take care of, regardless of my condition, and I discontinued it almost immediately after finding out I was pregnant. Nor does the medication impact my fertility, that has to do with my condition. After I made my post and read through about 300 comments, I think I went a little crazy. I convinced myself that I was making it all up in my head. I doubted everything I thought I knew, and I doubted myself. I went to the hospital to speak to my doctor about the medication and its severe side effects. I asked if it could make me engage in any intimate acts while asleep. I asked if it could make me misremember things. I asked if I was going crazy. The answer to all these questions is no, the medication doesn't make any of this even a possibility, and no, my husband doesn't have smashomnia. Neither would the medication mess up my memory so much that I might not remember smashing or consenting to it. This medication is not a sedative. After emailing with Myobgen, who absolutely assured me her prediction of 5 weeks could very well be off by as much as 3, which would explain my pregnancy, I had to accept that even if some things didn't add up, maybe I was worrying unnecessarily, potentially harming 3 lives for nothing. I never woke up with any fluids in me. I tend to sleep in just undergarments, and I don't remember that being missing or wrong in any way. The pelvic pressure could be explained by the pregnancy, but for the bruises, I don't know, but people bruise themselves all the time without knowing how. I talked to a counselor provided by the hospital twice, and I made the choice to seek out professional help long-term for what happened. Things were bad with my husband, though. I accused him of raping me, and that destroys a relationship. I was pissed at myself. I've kinda spent almost the past 2 weeks locking myself in the bedroom, humiliated and embarrassed, feeling like crap. We didn't really talk much to each other, and if we did, it was about the baby. I think I knew our relationship was over at that point. 2 days ago, I went to get another ultrasound at 7 weeks, just to check on the baby because I'd been feeling weird, and to get the pregnancy dated again so I could maybe feel less insane. Myobgen had a better look at the fetus this time, and turns out, the original 5-week prediction was wrong. Even with a little bit of buffer time to be safe, I was most likely 8 weeks or just about as close as you can get. We absolutely got pregnant during the night I remember smashing. And to clarify, we never used protection because my husband doesn't like condoms, we're in a monogamous relationship, and I've been told since I was a teenager the chances of getting pregnant are slim to none. I was even more humiliated and embarrassed. We just fought after that, and he got really mean and cold. A couple of nights ago, we were watching a movie, and it was the closest I felt to him since this started. The fact that he even wanted to watch a movie with me felt like a victory. When it was over, he asked if I really thought he could have raped me. I started crying, and he started yelling, demanding an answer. Before I could answer, he started laughing and said he couldn't get me wet enough to penetrate me if he tried. It was him just being mean about my health. My medication doesn't just make me disinterested in smashing, it makes it really hard for me to get in the mood. When we used to smash, I would have to use a ton of lubrication so I don't rip and bleed. I told him that wasn't funny, and he said he really thought it was. We started to fight about my accusation and how it made him feel. When I tried to tell him how sorry I was and how I was just really scared he wasn't the person I thought he was, he said I tried to ruin his life. Then he admitted he tried to finger me a couple of times while I was asleep, and never got anywhere, so he gave up, and that isn't great. I started screaming at him, demanding to know if he was telling the truth. I started hyperventilating. He started screaming back that he never raped me, he only used his fingers to penetrate me, only because he was desperate. He said I really hurt him by accusing him of rape, and it can't be rape because we're married, and it was just his fingers and not his willy. And then he said he'd given me oral while I was sleeping once, trying to get me wet enough for action, and that was when he'd stopped. He also admitted to using my hand to touch his manhood while I slept, but only a couple of times. So that's the truth of it. Our baby was conceived while I participated, but my husband admitted to touching me while I slept, and it's apparently not great because we're married. He believes that, he stands by it, and I'm the crazy one for thinking otherwise, according to him. Maybe I'm crazy. He's my husband, and I never heard of marital rape until my first post. I don't know what to do now. I don't have any family outside of him. I have some friends, but COVID is happening and I can't impose on any of them. I don't have money, I live paycheck to paycheck normally, and I'm out of work right now. I'm scared to leave as well. I'm not dumb, I know staying is stupid. We didn't sleep together after he admitted what he did. He slept in the living room, and I slept in the bedroom. I think I slept for an hour, scared he'd come pick a fight again. It's been like that for 2 nights now. This feels like the end of everything, and I just don't know where we go from here, or where I go from here. He doesn't think he did anything wrong, and he's so mad at me for saying otherwise.